y'all know I will. Good morning to you and happy Friday. It is Friday, y'all. We made it. We made it to the weekend, guys. And you guys got plans for the weekend? Y'all looking forward to a good, fun, uh, enjoyable weekend? Gain a couple pounds. You know it's a blessing to gain a couple pounds. You know that means you're eating good, right? Okay. But as for now, welcome to the show. I am your co-host, Love. Um, the Holy Spirit is in charge of this program, and I'm always led by the Spirit on a daily basis. It's always a rhema word. And today we're talking about temptation. Temptation. And it's such a big word with such a big meaning. And I think it's quite appropriate for Friday morning, don't you? Let's get into it. I'm coming from Proverbs 4 and 23. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Put away from thee a froward mouth and perverse lips, put far from thee. Let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. Remember, we was just talking about um, becoming established a couple weeks back. And if you missed that live, I do post all my lives um, right after the recording. All right. Thank you, Jesus. I know we've all heard of that um, phrase, guard your heart, protect your peace. And those phrases are so much easier said than done. Why? Because of temptation. This is what our healing, when we're on our healing journey and we're making such great progress, the thing that gets us, throws a monkey wrench in there at times, is temptation. And before we've come to the point where we decide to turn our life around, even with all of our determination and all of our faith and all of our um, tools that we have came to have inside of us from previous attempts, or just trying to live uh, as a decent person outside of any awakening or any healing. You know what I'm saying? Well, we come to know the world and the vices that we like in the world, the things that we're attracted to. We know those things well. We know what kind of if we had uh besides self medicate if we want upper or downer as far as um, doing that partying. We know if we are wine drinkers or champagne or beer or whatever drinkers. We know if we like dark skinned guys, light skinned guys. We know if we like dreads. We know if we like a smooth talker or a bad boy or a smooth operator. We know what kind of books we like. We know if we like romance novels, self help books, inspirational books. We know what kind of music we like, rap, R&B, soul, jazz. We know all the things that we like as we come into who we are. I need to shut that door. Um, but if he gets so bothered, he'll shut it, my son. um, but I just really want to be courteous. But not only do we know, but also the enemy knows. And you know, the Lord, He likes us to stay close to Him. As a Christian, I'm speaking of Christian, being a Christian, um, and close to Him when we're healing. In NA, I'm going to go with something where everyone can understand that even, in NA, where they say find your higher power and don't get in a relationship for that first year. And that's so that we can just sort of get a cubby hole inside of ourselves and sort of steer away from everything, get to know ourselves once again and heal. And it's so important as a Christian to stay close to God and that the Holy Spirit leads you. That's what I love about being a Christian, welcoming in the Holy Spirit, because He's a teacher and a guide. And He also will stop you cold. At first he's uh, loud or maybe soft, but the more you tune him out, the softer it gets until it's, you know, flat line, because it's always still our free will. And that's because what came to my mind this morning as a vision was, for some reason, I thought of Bambi. I ain't never watched that movie, or if I did, I don't remember it. But I thought of what looked like Bambi, a deer. A, a, in fact, hold on. I'm gonna look up what deers mean, because I saw a deer, and the deer had really uh, weak legs, sort of like my legs was at one time. They thought that I was gonna need a wheelchair, but um, now that I thought of that, maybe that has something to do with that. Oh, Bambi is generally refers to a baby deer or fawn derived from the Italian word bambino, meaning child or baby. Okay, so now I get it. Okay, so the Lord, He is keeping us. And you know what? God is so beautiful. And we be thinking, you know, I'm a big girl now. I'm going to get me some water, and the mom be a little bit back or the dad be a little bit back, and um the mama's like makes a noise for the for Bambi to wait, like it's just water. I'm just going right here to the pond. Like no, wait. And then so the the deer, this is what I saw in my vision. The Bambi gets to the pond, what would be a pond, but it's actually at a beach, and then a wave rushes in. And because it got these little weak legs, it takes it out to shore and it gets swept up. And what came to my mind about that is we be feeling like we know what we can handle, but we don't see the tide. We don't see the temptation that's behind it. We don't know if that is a honeypot, as they call it, a handler, as they call it, somebody that's coming in to throw a monkey wrench in our whole program. Like, no, that's an old friend guy. I know them from school. I know we just was cool. We was just friends. And I got along real good with them. And we used to talk about everything. And I know I could talk to them. I want to give them my number because no, no, no. Don't give out your number. Just, give out your social media stuff. But God, I don't really talk to nobody. This is just an example. But God, I don't really talk to I don't be trying to talk to nobody. But God, I don't really talk to nobody. And just give out your social media, and you wind up giving out uh your social media and say message me or something, and they do, and they have changed. Their lingo has changed, the way they talk to you has changed, their attraction to you has changed, and your attraction to them has changed. And it turns out that you supposedly have all this stuff in common, but really, they already had your social media stuff. They already know what type of person you are now. They already are ready and equipped. And it's not like they have studied you because they want to romance you and fall in love and y'all have a beautiful life together. He saw something you didn't see, and that was their intentions. And one bad decision, like I was saying yesterday, inviting one person in your life that don't mean you well, or even if they mean you well, but they have a bad mental history that is too too far gone, too far gone for you to have around yourself, your children. But sometimes when we're in isolation, sometimes we be feeling like, well, sometimes it turns from isolation into a lifestyle. Certain people like me, we are people who are on our narrow path. And our narrow path was different than other people's narrow path. And you be thinking that you're just in isolation, but it lingers into a lifestyle because really and truly, you have to focus on your mission. You got to focus on your purpose. And temptation will get you caught up. Just one slip will get you caught up. Like, well, I haven't been out in a while. I know I can handle at least one drink, and you're a former, and you're an addict. You can't handle one drink. And well, or you're out with friends and they're like, come on, girl, just one shot. I ain't gonna let you drink nothing else. I don't care what you say. And you're like, okay, well, that's it. No, you know better than that. But temptation, peer pressure, um, feeling like you're missing out on something so much, Sometimes it takes us so many mistakes before we understand why we can't be like everybody else. We just can't be like everybody else. And sometimes it takes you almost losing your life to find that out. Sometimes it takes extreme measures for you to understand that. And those things that happen, they get seared into your soul so deep, which is why I believe God allowed them to happen. Because they got to be in there so deep. Because you got to understand that just because it's a different person or just because it's a different situation, I mean, different setup, it doesn't mean it's a different situation. It's just different players of the same game. And if you're not clear on that, if you don't understand that you have so much more to lose because you cannot get on the enemy's territory anymore. It's a very dangerous place for you. You have done too much damage in his kingdom. And every time you go back, it gets more dangerous. You don't always make it back to this side because God have grace and he has mercy. And I know they say that no harm can come to anointed one, chosen one, but also it says we perish for lack of knowledge. Let's see what exactly it says. And so, if, like, let's say, there are dark forces that's very strong, there is witchcraft, um, there is free will, and there is the reason why the Lord say um, obedience is better than sacrifice. It's better to be obedient than to sacrifice your life. And the what I'm talking about is Hosea 4:6 in the James version. And it says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge because you have rejected knowledge. I reject you from being a priest to me. So you want to go against what I have advised. And so therefore you're on enemy territory. And you are making your own decision. When the Lord says you cannot, though you love them so much, if this is your path, everybody's path is different. Some people, it's like, hey, you cannot be back around that friend, those friends, that set a group of friends, because he knows something that you don't know. And some, and some be like, you cannot go back around your family because he knows something that you don't know or that you do know, that he has revealed to you in dreams and visions and things that he has brought back to your attention, things you have suppressed and now remember. And so, but if you decide, you know, then whatever, or go back to that ex, and the only thing they did to you before was suck you of all your energy and your finances and had you depressed and feeling um bad about yourself and stuff. But you don't know if that was a love spell. You don't know what type of let me tell you something. The enemy has a lot of vices. They have a lot of vices and things that people don't talk about because it'll make them look crazy, that I'm not going to talk about either. But they have a lot of ways to get to you and a lot of um, accomplices, a lot of comrades. Here you are over here, just you and God over in isolation. And they hold masons and fraternities and sororities and brothers and all this in every state and every corporation, all kinds of connections to dark uh, arts people. And I mean, they don't have they. It's not like they like. I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to go to. I don't want to be uh on the outs with God. No, they're already on the outs with God. What they gotta lose? They want to be paying back the enemy whatever they owe him, and they already been turned over to what's that reprobated mind. What they care? They hate you so much. Not you, but what's inside of you. Yesterday, when I was filming, I was like, I need to get my couch clean and my chairs clean. And I ain't even thought about that before yesterday. Why? Because my bright light was shining right on the side of my couch where it's most dirty. But you can imagine if it's that dirty. And I thought to myself, I have never had that couch clean. And I have had the couch for at least 8 years. And I'm like, I need to get my couch clean. But it's this bright light shining on. I'm like, why did I shine the bright light? I'm like, oh, because I had to think. But I thought about that this morning too. I'm like, that dirty. I would wash it by hand, but I'm like, I need to have the whole thing cleaned and my chairs clean. My birthday is coming, and that's something I might do for my birthday, but or Christmas one. But anyway, here's this bright light shining on whatever, you know, uh people ain't trying to be seen. And here's this bright light you and they want to put it out. They want to dim it. They will hurt themselves trying to hurt you. Temptation. I had asked you guys, over the holiday weekend, the 4th, I had said, watch Fallen with Denzel Washington. It's an old movie. And it's about this here uh prisoner. When he dies, his spirit lives on and his spirit jumps bodies. And that's not far-fetched. These A lot of times art imitate life. A lot of times these people who write movies are writing something that is something that's uncommonly um real, that hasn't been spoke about, so they put it in a movie. um if you watch Enemy of the State with Will Smith and Gene Hackman, which is something I haven't brought up before,
you'll see how advanced they were back then, 20 years ago, in nailing down one person if they want to sabotage that one person. Well, just like that, that's how the enemy is. Just like in the Matrix when the bum on the street um wakes up and it turns into an agent automatically because the spirit is in the air. It is of the air. And it just needs a body to dwell in to do his bidding. And it's so many people out here that are not of the light, that are open vessels for that. And you can be somewhere and it could be not even something that's like you get there early trying to just sort of scope out the situation. You meet somebody on a meet and greet or whatever, and just to scope out the situation. And they might not have even thought of arriving early, but because of the prince of the air, they arrive early too. And they know where exactly to be, to stand, to watch you looking out for them. Because when you're not of the light, you have the advantage of everybody having in common destroying the light wherever it shows up. If you notice, a lot of people, when I used to, party or whatever, I used to could not stand the house being lit up like it is. Like that would be closed. Those blinds would be stay closed all day. Maybe I open it just a little bit, just get a little light in here. But I wanted just the natural bulbs on. Just, maybe have one light on when I'm walking through the house all day long. Have the TV on. I didn't want no sun coming in and stuff like that because it interfered. It made me have a headache. It interfered with the hangover. And it'd be like, you just want to be sort of zombie. It's just sort of, get up, get something to drink, get something to eat real quick so I can lay back down. You don't want the sun beaming all in and be like, got a headache. Oh, man, who opened? Oh, man, shut those curtains, man. What y'all doing up in here? Why y'all gotta have it so bright? This ain't no greenhouse. Shut those blinds, shut the curtains. And it be dark all day. Don't nobody want no light. Because it's like it's it takes the somber mood and makes it live. It brings life. You imagine a bar being ceilings all glass and windows and it being all bright in a bar. No, bars are dark. Bars are dark. Why? So that you can feel relaxed. So it don't feel like you trying to drink and have you a good time. You don't want no spotlight shining on your stomachs. Like no, you don't want no spotlight shining on you. And you want to chill. You want to maybe get in the corner and just do your thing or whatever. Why? Because it's relaxing in the dark. You come out of a club and if it's still light outside, be like, dang, it ain't even dark yet. You want to go back in another one just to go back in the dark or go home and shut the blinds and stuff. that should show a prime example of the contrast of what we, with the light in us, reflect to people who don't have any in them. And it's not always that they want it in them. Sometimes it just aggravates them. And how good it would be to, you imagine slipping through somebody's fingertips, and like I told my ex when I woke up, I said, um, you fumbled the ball. I know what's going on now. And he looked so disgusted. He was just like so disgusted. Like he didn't say what you mean or nothing because he knew what I meant. I said, I know what's going on now. Like you fumbled the ball. But can you imagine me going back after everything? I bet you I won't fumble it this time. That's just facts. I mean, what? I'm just being keeping it real. That's how it is. And it ain't no love lost. Cause you gotta do you and I gotta do me. But I just know what time it is. That's all. We don't have to, it don't have to be no love lost. I don't have no problem. We have to be cordial. Everything, is good. But I just know where I can't go with you and where you can't go with me. And we just keep it at that. And then it's just, it is what it is. And we're both adult enough to do that. But temptation will make you feel like a new person that you're attracted to. Ooh, 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 ooh. They're empath too. Oh my goodness. I could see myself with them. Here you are on your narrow path. Here you are. You already have obligated yourself to what you got going on, what you're doing. You don't have the time to get distracted. You don't have the time to backtrack. You don't have the time to, for everything that you have invested in your path to get sideswiped because you are so selfish about what you're supposed to be doing and people's lives you're supposed to affect, that your eyes and your desires has gotten the best of you again. You should have learned something by now. You should be able to look back in your journal when those kind of feelings hit and look back in your journal and be like, all right, I'm back focused. I'm on a mission and I ain't got time. I ain't got time. I don't care if it would work out right now. I'm on my narrow path and I got time to make up for it. I've been playing too much. I've been playing too much for all of my life. I don't have time to get this wrong this time. I have lives I'm affecting. Whether they act like they see me or not, that's not my problem. My problem, I don't have a problem. I'm focused on my narrow path and I'm doing what God told me to do. And I trust him. I have faith in him and he know what he's doing. And so the enemy would love for, I'm not even going to talk about me. I'm going to talk about you. The enemy would love for you to feel like you aren't making any progress anyway. You may as well enjoy your life. You may as well uh, just once. That's just like saying, I'm getting this elephant for free. It's not free because you don't have nowhere to put it. It's not free because you got to feed it. It's not free because what you want with an elephant? So everything that's marked free is not free. Everything that's look good, that look like it's readily available, it's not for you. It's not for you. When you make a decision and your decision is based on honoring God, honoring your life, it's so much more than you. Um, Such a lovely thing happened to me. I'm gonna say it out loud because it's Friday and it made me feel so good. It don't have nothing to do with this, but kinda. So I posted my profile picture on my Facebook page. Now my Facebook page have just over 100 people, and I know all of them from Detroit, from everybody very intimately. I don't have no people that I don't know on my Facebook page, and pretty much everybody know everybody, and if they don't, they've been seeing them on my page long enough to know who they are in my life. So I had made my profile picture. Uh, I had posted a profile picture of myself and my father. He passed away when I was like 13, and he drank and stuff, and he was known around the neighborhood and everything. So I had left on my post. I was like, um, I hardly remember. I mean, I said my my dad only brought me one thing. I only remember when my dad brought me one thing. So my grandfather, he had a construction company, and him and my father built a brick store, by hand, and it's on 8 Mile. It's right around the corner from where I live, and most all the people I know live, so I was like, so we took a walk around the corner to see my grandfather, and then he walked me to the store. And when we got to the store, they had penny candy at the store. And my cousins was living with me. I told y'all that before. So my cousins was living with me, and anyway, he bought me all this penny candy and like now laters and stuff. And then as I had the little brown bag or whatever, so we were at the register, and he's like, so when you buy one, you got to buy everybody some. You can't just come in here and then you ain't bought nobody else none. So he bought my cousin some too. So he's like, here, you share that with them. And then he comes from front his back and he does this with this big lollipop the size of my face, the colored lollipop. And on the screen, when I said big lollipop, pops up the image of the same lollipop with the colors, the emoji. And he was like, um, you shared that, and this is for you, my princess. I never said that out loud. I never said it out loud because I knew if I said it out loud that it was going to be shot down. I always wanted to just keep that special memory. And so I said it out loud, and I was like, I remember him doing this, and I only remember him. I was like, and the only time I remember what he looked like is when I look in the mirror sometimes when I'm doing my makeup and stuff. And sometimes I could see him in me. And so I started getting comments. And one of the comments is from uh, the guy I called my brother. He lived across the street from me when we was growing up. And he says, I remember your father. I remember him well. He was always really nice to me. I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know he knew my father. But when he said that, this emotion of flooded me. And it felt like um, my dad was a good guy. And you remember that about him? And then somebody was like, best dad ever. I'm like, yes, best dad ever. And then another one was one of my friends was like, so many memories that we have of when we were younger, and um it's so good when you can have a positive memory. He really put you on a pedestal, calling you his princess. And I thought to myself, yeah, he did. And with Father's Day just passing, this is the first time I ever thought of him and was able to talk about him in a positive light. And just, it really felt great because it's just like people knew who he was. And, well, somebody said one person, but it just, I don't care. And he was a good guy. Somebody knew him as a good guy and was able to say it out loud. And it really made me feel good. It really made me feel like I gave him his flowers finally. He'd been passed away. And I've always just seen him as, you know, as what was told to me he was. But he wasn't that. He was a good guy. And it made me feel good about me. And I said I adored him and he adored me. I was his only little girl. And yeah. So I was a princess then, so no wonder I'm a queen now. And everything means something, and our lives, they don't just stop with us. They don't. When we make a difference in the world, God honors that. And God always have this perfect timing. And when he say your gift will make room for you, it's not just money. It's also riches. Like that moment, that moment that made me feel good about myself, feel good about my father. And like my son, he was like, he came in my room yesterday and I had just vacuumed my floor. And he was like, your room look good. I'm like, okay, well, thank you for noticing. He just recently started like being vocal about when he noticed things. And so then me and him was playing around and he talks about how I chew. And the first time he talked about how I chew, I was offended. But so much time has passed, and well, then I didn't have partials. And so much time has passed, and I feel so much different about myself now. So then when he just started mocking me, and I was like acting like I was a cow. I was like, moo. I'm like, you love me. love me, you love me. And I was all in his face. He was like, yep. He was like, yep, yep. I'm like, okay then. I'm like, move. And so I was able to play with him and I wasn't offended this time. Uh, the last time he had said something, he said I look weird. And it made me feel offended because of how I felt about myself. But this time, he just, while I was making him some fries, I was putting some cheese on his fries, and he just came up, and I had put something in my mouth and I was chewing. He just came up behind me. He was like, and I was like, "Moo." Like, you like it, you love me, you love me. He was like, yeah, I do, I do, I do, I do. And if you give into temptation, you'll never get to the part of your path that makes it all worth the while. It makes it all worth the while. You don't have to have, uh, well, I'm going to say you don't have to have much, but I feel like I have much. As time has went by, a little here and a little there, I have accumulated a lot. The things that make me feel happy and full and make my life easier, make my son's life easier. And I was about to say, you don't have to have a pool or a deck, or I'm about to say all this stuff. I'm like, but we do have a pool. I do have a magnet. But as time has went on, and I mean serious time, I mean 16 years worth of time, and just a little here, one thing there, taxes here, this here, you know, uh, thrift store, well, not thrift store, well, yeah, well, uh waiting for somebody to come put my thing together here, waiting to get this in the house there. You know, as time has went on. I was gonna say this before I go. Oh, still I got time. So I had woke up on New Year's Day in 2019 and I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk. Just like Bambi, the legs, it was felt like noodles. My legs felt like noodles. I already had neuropathy. I already had started having the burning and stinging in my hands and in my feet, but now I couldn't walk. So I went to the emergency to see my doctor, and he gave me a prescription to go get a wheelchair. I said I don't want a wheelchair. I'm not gonna get in a wheelchair. He was like, "We'll get you a walker." I didn't. I was walking like this, holding things, holding chair, holding stuff to walk. And my mom's like, "You're gonna need a wheelchair." I'm like, "I'm not gonna be in no wheelchair. You're gonna need a wheelchair. I'm not getting in no wheelchair. I'm gonna walk." So I bought this weight vest and hold on a second. No, y'all can come with me. Y'all can come. So I bought this weight vest, right? This is a weight vest. It goes on. And I got these weights for my feet. These. It's a set. These go around my feet. And I got these 3-pound weights for my arms. And I started walking around the house with that on, holding chairs like this, walking around the house. My legs would be like this, moving like this, building muscle in my leg every time I would get up. And I did that for about
5 or 6 months. I never, I never had a walker, cane. Tried to walk with a cane one day because my back was hurting. Mm-mm. I finally went to get a disabled check because I could not work. I tried to work. I couldn't. I did not want to have that label on me. I'm like, I'm not disabled. I'm not gonna claim disability. I'm not disabled. But finally, after 5 or 6 months, I had to. But from then, which I post the picture, I'll post it today. From then till now, and I have a little bit of muscle, but I don't want too much muscle. I stopped where it was starting to get muscly because I love being a woman. I don't want to look like a dude, you know. I don't want to get muscular. I just only want to be fit and healthy. And you know, now I do squats. I've been doing squats for years now, and that was because I had got so flat because of having to be in bed and sweating so much that I had got flat, and that just wasn't gonna work for me. I'm like, no, we're gonna start doing some squats, girlfriend, and so I ain't worried about that now. Anyway, um, and so I prayed. I'm like, I had to move from there, my last apartment anyway, and I had put in for here so I could be close to my son's school because he was about to start a new school. I wanted to be, you know, so I could be right there. So from then till now, and all of the tragedies that's happened, from my teeth breaking off, from me having dizzy spells and flashes in my face, and somebody was trying to poison me. I started having metal taste in my mouth, and when I had went to the doctor, they gave me a blood test because my medication. They have to give me a urine test and a blood test. They got to make sure I'm not taking no narcotics or anything. So no other kind of drugs. And also make I'm taking sure I'm taking my medicine. And so in my system, they found um, it was something. I forget what it's called, but it's poison. It's poison. And they asked me if I thought anyone was poisoning me, and I said, I don't think so, but I know I've been feeling this burning in my chest, and I know my mouth is numb, and it tastes like metal. And they said that arsenic, it was arsenic in my system. And so that was never explained. But so much has happened since then. And to go from all that I have been through till now, being free and able to sit here on the right medication that's not making me sick and throw up and stuff, to for my son to be in a good mental space and happy and healthy, for me to just have that really beautiful experience about my father, it really did something to my heart. And have my um, priorities in order and not be crazy because so many people said I was crazy. So many people lied on me about so many different things. And I really started caring about what people thought. I really started feeling bad about myself. And not just that, ashamed, worthless, ugly, start not even caring what I look like.
Started not even caring about buying no new shoes. It took me so long to buy a pair of new shoes. Of course, I kept my son fresh, but he didn't care about all that stuff. He just, some things I would buy him Adidas set, and he would only wear it once, and then he'd grow out of it by the time he get back to wearing it. But to go from all that to finding out what was going on and taking my life back and having control of my life and being responsible with my life and putting God first and being on my narrow path and understanding what that means and having the drive and the determination to see through what He has set for my life. And even if it's pleasing Him, just pleasing Him, then that being enough, because you can't be God-given. He gives it back in so many different ways. Y'all can keep an eye out for my community page because I have made posts that would, some things I can't post yet because a lot of pictures will blow your mind. I have a picture of where someone was destiny swapping with me, and I was looking like them, and they was looking like me, but I can't release that yet. But there's so many pictures that if I posted, it would blow your mind. But I will post today the one of when I couldn't walk. And it took me about 5 months just to be able to walk again. My legs was feeling like noodles that felt like this, and they would shake. Anyway, don't let nobody take you off of your square. Don't let nobody take you off your narrow path. Stay in it long enough to, like NA say, keep coming till you see the miracles start happening. And when they start happening, be grateful for them, acknowledge them, appreciate your wins, celebrate your wins, and don't let nobody take your confidence, your confidence that you get from it away from you. Hey, Alexander, welcome. Thanks for coming in. Hi.